Hey guys, good morning. It's Debbie. We're back with part 6, I think, of the Robert Bardo trial. Back in the 80s, he unalived actress Rebecca Schaeffer, which put some stalking laws on the books to help people be safer when they have had crazy people stalking them. Good morning, everybody. Hey, Judy. Hey, Jennifer. Happy Friday. Hey, Teresia. Oh, Judy's done with Christmas shopping. We are too, actually. Travis has all his presents on the table. Wrapped. They're wrapped and ready to go under the tree when we ever get it up. We don't have any, we have got no Christmas decorations up at all because we've had a very rocky start to December. Bardo obtained Schaeffer's home address through a detective agency who tracked it via California Department of Motor Vehicle Records. Because of Bardo's actions and his methods of obtaining Schaeffer's address, the U.S. Congress passed the Driver's Privacy Protection Act, which prohibits state DMVs from disclosing home addresses. Is that the law that went into effect after this? Is that the anti-stalking law that they say help people be safer from stalkers because of this? Is that the one that I keep referring to, but I don't know specifically which one it is? Because I'm Debbie and I don't do details. I know things, but I don't know specifics. Oh, a Christmas miracle. I wasn't going to talk about this, but I'm so excited. A Christmas miracle happened last night. So, a friend of mine wanted me to call him about, he wants to do like a Disney talk show type of a thing with me on YouTube. So I called him and so I told him everything that was going on, how we were all, including the dogs, having doctor's appointments, and there was no money for Christmas, and I wasn't going to get my scooter that I needed for, like, to get around when we go places and do things and whatever. So my friend goes, "Oh, I can get you a scooter for $400. And I was like, "Yes, please." So I'm getting a secondhand scooter that's in excellent condition, has hardly been used, today for only $400. And from a person that I trust. So I'm going to have Christmas. Well, I mean, I won't have anything under the tree, but I will. No, what? Oh, you're talking to Spike. Okay. Spike's in trouble already this morning.
You didn't go. You still barking.
Well, boy, you better not go in the house. I'm trying to cleaning it up. Trouble already. He is in trouble already. So, one of our problems has been solved. That's all I can say. One problem solved. One problem solved. Oh, and so they're YouTubers, and it's Magic Adventures. They pop into the chat every once in a while. And they're going to actually deliver the scooter to me, and they're going to teach me SEO, whatever that is, the logarithm thing that gets your videos pushed out. They're going to teach me that when they come deliver my scooter. So that's an extra added bonus that I didn't expect, because they're going to help me figure out why my channel's not getting any traction. So, Christmas miracle. So happy. Yesterday I was crying off and on all day, and now I'm happy again. Doesn't take much. Oh, thank you, Judy. They are wonderful people. Absolutely wonderful people. Because the phone call had nothing to do with what was going on with me. It was, to talk about doing a talk show thing with them, and they're wonderful people. Okay, so, where were we on Bardo? I forgot who the witness was. It lasted like an hour and a half. And I have totally drawn a blank on who the witness was. Oh, it was that news reporter guy that kept trying to talk when there was no question pending. And they kept going, there's no question pending. There's no question pending. And he just wanted to talk. Okay, this is, I don't even know how to say her name. Eayles? Eayles. She saw the defendant before the murder. Spike, getting on my last nerve. Yeah, the Desi Jr. wannabe. He was nice to look at, though. Even if they're jerks, it's nice if they're nice to look at. God bless America, the sound in this courtroom.
Now pending before this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God. How do you please be seated? State your name, please, for the record.
Jan Bayless.
100%.
Jan.
And the bigoting and the switching. If I were to see him on the street, I think I would go to the other side of the street. He's creepy looking. The picture on the thumbnail, that's why I picked it, because it's scary looking. And, I'm sorry, I'm sure there are scary looking people that are very nice people, even though they look scary. But, sometimes your instincts are right,
Ms. Bayless, I'd like to direct your attention back to the date of approximately July 18th, July 19th, 1989. Did you have occasion to see a news story about the death of Rebecca Schaeffer?
Yes.
Okay. When was the first time you had heard a news story about that incident?
The morning it happened, I heard it on the way to work.
When you heard it on the way to work, are you talking about your car radio?
Yes.
When you heard it about that story, did you think that that had any significance as far as you were concerned?
No.
Sometime later, did you observe or hear another news story about the incident?
Yes.
And tell the court how that occurred.
That was I don't remember if it was the following night, I believe. It was when I saw it on the news that he had been captured. suspect in the murder.
And you saw the video presentation of the arrest of
Right.
the individual?
Yes.
And as a result, did it spark a recollection?
Yes.
Did you remember seeing that person?
Yes.
I wonder why.
And for the record, showing you the individual seated at far right of the council table, Mr. Robert Bardo, is he
Yes.
the same individual?
Yes.
When you observed that news story and you made the identification, what did you do next?
I called the police.
Did you speak to the police?
Yes.
Did the police ever show you a copy of your statement?
No.
Did I show you a copy of the statement from the police concerning your
Yes.
recollection of the events? Did that police report appear to be accurate?
Partially.
Did you also have occasion to speak to Mr. Cal McShann?
Yes.
And did he identify himself as being an investigator with the Public Defender's Office?
Yes.
Now, directing your attention back to the news story, when you observed the image of Mr. Robert Bardo, were you able to tell if you remembered seeing the clothing he was wearing?
That's what responded my attention to it was identical to what I'd seen.
The clothing that he wore at the time of his arrest was the exact clothing that he had on
When I saw him.
when you saw him the day prior.
Right.
Now, directing your attention to the day prior. Where was Mr. Bardo when you first observed him?
He was in an alcove around by the restrooms outside my office.
Okay. Now, is this some sort of a business establishment?
Yes, it's a service station.
And were you working there at the time?
Yes.
At the time that you first observed Mr. Bardo, do you recall what time of the day it was?
I believe it was between 10 and 12. It was approaching the noon hour.
Approaching the noon hour?
Yeah. Yes.
When you first observed Mr. Bardo, what was he doing?
He was just standing there. He was just looking kind of lost.
Well, what was your reaction when you first came upon him?
I was startled. I didn't expect to see someone there. And it frightened me a little.
The way he looked, or what?
Yeah, he was, it seemed a little disoriented, and it just made me uncomfortable.
Can you please describe his appearance as far as how he looked to you?
He was a little bit wrinkled looking, a little bit sloppily put together.
Did he was not neatly dressed then?
No, he was clean, but it was a little bit muffled.
Okay. What about his hair? Can you tell us how his hair looked?
Long, a little bit untidy, not combed.
Was not combed. Okay. You've already told us what he was wearing, I believe? Or
I don't know.
Do you recall at all what he was wearing that day?
Yes, blue jeans and a white t-shirt. It had green Marlboro down the side.
Down the side. It wasn't across then, the Marlboro.
No, it was down the side.
Did you have a chance to look at his eyes?
Yes.
What did you see when you looked at his eyes?
They seemed glassy, glary, not focusing.
Now, in the area where this occurred, what city is this, Hollywood or?
North Hollywood.
Do you have street people there, homeless people?
We get street people in occasionally.
Now, I'd ask you to compare your observations of Robert Bardo on the day that you saw him, that you're testifying here today, with the street people that you had seen in your area at the same location. Did they appear to be the same?
No, there's a difference.
What was the difference?
With the street people, you don't seem intimidated, and with him, he was like not recognizing you, just unaware of you even being there.
Loudest pin in the world again.
did he look like he was, you already indicated that he appeared disoriented to you. Are there any other descriptive terms that come to mind? Did you ever, let me rephrase this way, did you ever report to the police that he appeared to you to be, quote, spacey?
Yes, but not like a person on drugs or drunk. It was a difference. It's hard to describe it. It was an uncomfortable feeling, unpredictable maybe.
You already said that you looked at his eyes.
Yes.
You looked at his facial expressions.
Yes.
And he appeared to just, to
Zero. Nothing.
Do you have a good recollection of the events?
Yes.
You remember it clearly?
Yes.
Why?
It just left an impression for quite some time. And when I was subpoenaed to come here today, it just clicked. I mean, it was like it just happened yesterday.
When you...
How are you? Did everything go okay? Are your fingers straight? How are you feeling? I've been praying for you, girl. I hope you're good. I'm so glad you're here. I was afraid you wouldn't be here today and I would have to wait all weekend to find out how you are. Yay! Yay!
Were observing Mr. Bardo, did you keep an eye on him?
Yes, I did.
And what did you observe him to do?
He really didn't bother anybody. He just was more or less pacing, back and forth.
Where were you at this time?
I had gone back to my office.
Did you observe him when you went back into your office to be looking in any particular direction?
Not at first, and then he started glaring in the window right at me. I don't know if he was looking at me, but he was glaring in the window where I was standing.
Okay. Did you advise or tell Mr. McShann at the time that he was peering into this window?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And the window, give the court an idea of the size of the window that we're talking about.
The whole front of the office is solid glass.
Did he appear to make eye contact with you?
No, not really.
Did he speak to you at all?
No.
Did he make any gestures towards you?
No.
Could you show the court, as best you can, how Mr. Bardo was peering into the window?
He was just like that.
Indicating a...
Face forward about...
Just kind of like that.
With her eyes very open.
And...
Anyone disagree with that characterization?
No.
All right.
Did you notice for how long he was peering, staring into the window?
It seemed like it probably was around 10 minutes.
Did this appear to you to be odd?
Yes, very much so.
And not consistent with other people you had observed in the area?
No.
And not consistent with the homeless people that you had seen
No.
in that area? I take it then that his appearance and your impressions of Mr. Bardo at that time, would it be fair to say it caused you some concern?
Yes.
Did you keep an eye on him as a result?
Yes.
Did you notify anybody else? Did you feel it necessary to notify?
Yes, I went and got a couple of my employees out front and told them to keep an eye on him. And I also went in the back and told a couple of the mechanics to keep an eye, just so between all of us we could... I had just uncomfortable feelings. I didn't know if he might do something. He just seemed lost.
Did you call the police at all?
No.
Why not?
He wasn't doing anything to be arrested for.
But you were just concerned about his appearance, the way...
I didn't feel comfortable. It was unpredictable.
Thank you. I have nothing further.
Gross?
Ms. Bayless, you indicate that the defendant's eyes appear to be unfocused.
Right.
How close did you get to him?
Face to face, more or less.
Face to face? Tell me to stop when I'm as close as you got to the defendant that day.
Stop.
Will the court estimate 3 feet?
Fine.
Yeah, 3.5.
Okay. And how long did you stay in that position?
Just a split second. I mean, just long enough to recognize him, look at him, and keep going.
So you looked at him a split second, and in that split second, you determined his eyes appeared unfocused.
Yes.
You could not tell, of course, at that time whether it was due to his, perhaps, a problem with his eyesight,
No.
or perhaps whether he was simply focused or thinking about something else. You simply noticed that particular aspect for a split second when you saw him.
Yes.
And how did it happen that you got to be that close to him?
There's an alcove next to the restrooms, and I had come around the corner from my office to use the restroom. And he was right there.
In front of the
It's not visible from the street.
Okay, so where he was standing, he couldn't know that was a restroom that you were coming out of?
Well, it's marked right there.
says-
I mean, I don't know why he didn't know it was a restroom unless he just didn't pay attention.
Okay, it could be seen, though, that that was a restroom?
Yes.
Was it a woman's restroom or just a...
Well, they're side by side, but he was closest to the women's restroom.
Okay, so he could have been perhaps attempting to use or having just used the restroom when you saw him?
No, because you need a key.
Okay, he did not request a key from you?
No.
Now, in your office, is there a large map hanging somewhere?
There's a map in the front window.
The front window that you said he was peering through?
Yes.
And when he was peering through that window, was he in fact looking at that map?
There's no way to tell that possibly he was.
Okay, that map in any case was visible through the window where he was
But he
standing.
didn't seem focusing, but he could have been looking at the map.
Okay. If that map would have been in his view?
Yes.
From where he was
He would have
standing?
been right on top of it.
Okay. Okay. I think so.
His little key fob thingy broke. So we bought a new one off of Amazon. Instead of taking it and getting it reprogrammed, hey Carla, he didn't listen to me. He took the motherboard. No, what did he do? I don't remember what he jury-rigged it somehow. I don't know what he did, but he didn't listen to me. Because he's a man, and he didn't listen to me. I'm like, take the new one to a Ford dealership and let them reprogram it. No. No. He took something out of the new one and put it into the old one. And the old one somehow fell apart and the old motherboard fell out of it. And so it wouldn't start the truck anymore. So he used the spare key to start the truck. So the truck started. So there's nothing wrong with the truck. It's the stupid little key fob thing. He makes me tired, y'all. He just makes me so tired.
You refer to this as a window?
Yes, you indicated that he looked at differently than other people you had seen in your common everyday to-day routine.
Yes.
Did he look like someone, strike that,
This is beyond the scope of cross.
no.
You want to reopen?
I'll rephrase. The district attorney asked you if something about the fact if he was wearing glasses or not. Do you remember that question?
100%.
He wasn't wearing glasses.
Did he look to you the same as a person who needed glasses?
Well, objection, that calls for speculation and a foundation of expertise. This witness is not an optometrist.
Well, it does, that's phrase.
Well, I'll rephrase.
Yes.
When you looked at him, you said that he appeared to be not focused, correct? Was that your
Yes.
testimony? And I believe your statement was disoriented as well?
I can tell you exactly what he looked. He looks the same right now.
Have you had the occasion to observe other people from that place of employment who looked to you the way Mr. Robert Bardo looked to you on that day?
No.
This was unique in that instance?
Yes.
The district attorney asked you about a map in that area. And you
Yes.
said that there was a map in the general direction of where he was facing on
Yes.
this window, correct?
Yes.
Your statement, though, I believe you said he didn't seem to be focusing in on the map.
It's hard to tell. He was just staring, glaring.
Did he have any visual expression on his face at all?
No.
It was a flat response.
Yes.
Nothing from him.
Ms. Bayless, have you ever seen this defendant before that day?
No.
So you wouldn't know then what his normal expression for him or an abnormal expression for him. You're just describing what you saw.
Yes.
Okay. The map that you told us about, what is it of?
It's a blow-up of the general vicinity, maybe a mile radius.
Does it go?
It's blown up a page of the Thomas Guide into the streets for people, for directions. It gives them a blow-up of, instead of handing out the Thomas Guide every 5 minutes, we just blew it up in the window, a section.
To show what?
To show the area where we are within a certain circumference. for
Did
directions.
that map happen to show any part of the area east of you, that is towards downtown?
Yes, it goes in both directions. It spreads.
Can you give me the boundaries of what it, roughly, just some idea?
I don't remember. I have not been working in the office for the last 2.5 years, so I don't remember.
But to the best of your ability, does it take in some portion of the downtown area?
Possibly, I think it did.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember it does because I remember directions asking to get someplace downtown.
Okay. 1 second. Do you happen, this is probably asking a lot, but do you happen to remember what page of the Thomas Guide it was by any
No.
chance?
It wasn't the downtown, it would be focusing on our section where our Hillhurst and Franklin, so it would be, have that in it and then expand from that.
From like Hillhurst and Franklin, a little bit west of that.
I saw an ad for a Christmas tree ornament the other day, and it had 2 dogs on one side, sitting on one side. It had like a Christmas tree in the background. I think it was a Christmas tree. It had 2 dogs on one side, and then 2 dogs on the other side, and the 2 on the one side had wings. And there's like a speech bubble over their heads. And the one on the left, the 2 dogs on the left didn't have wings. It was personalized. It had the dogs' names underneath them. And the ones on the left, it said, "You know they still talk about you." And the speech bubble over the 2 dogs with the wings, it said, "We know, and we're always here." And I thought, what a sweet Christmas tree ornament. And it made me cry. But I loved it so much because we have so many pets that, you know, we say they're at Rainbow Bridge. And for years and years, I thought, it's so sad how much we love them and we don't get to be reunited with them in heaven. And you guys know my belief system. And if you don't believe, that's fine. And I'm not being preachy or anything, but you know, a lot of people say, well, animals don't have souls, so they don't get to go to heaven, but nothing is impossible with God. So if I want to have my pets with me in heaven, God can do that. So that's why I believe that the rainbow, yeah, that's right. That the Rainbow Bridge is real. And I choose to believe that my pets are there waiting for me and nobody can tell me any different.
To the downtown area. Something like that?
Something like that.
Okay.
It's been there for so long, I don't even remember how long ago we had it blown up.
You don't even pay attention to it anymore?
No.
Okay, that's awesome. Thank you.
Okay.
Where's the service station where you work?
It's on Franklin and Hillhurst.
It's right at Franklin?
On the
and
corner.
Hillhurst?
Yes.
Have any idea how far that is from Sweetser and Beverly?
No, I don't.
You have any closer idea as to what time he was there? You said between 10 and noon. Can you be more specific?
I believe it had to be closer to noon because I remember the guys, it was quieting down. It usually gets a little quiet before lunch with, the guys are taking turns going to lunch. So it was just before lunch probably.
You compared the defendant's appearance on the day you saw him with the way he looks now. Have you noticed a tendency on the part of the defendant to have his head slightly lowered and yet look up?
Yes.
In here? Is that similar in any way to what you saw on
Yes, I
that
believe
day?
so. Yes.
All right, thank you.
Wait till the
Anything further?
question's done before you answer, woman. Jeez. She just wants out of there. I
All
don't
right,
want
may
to be
this witness be
here.
excused.
Let me go. I don't want to be here. Let me out.
I have one question, Your Honor, if I may. I'm sorry.
Yes, go ahead.
Did you observe him walking, the defendant walking at any time?
Yes, after I came back into the office, he came around and was in front of the office, outside.
Oh, that's right. He was pacing.
Right.
Okay. Did you notice anything unusual about the way he moved?
He was moving slowly, that's about it.
Nothing unusual about arm movements that drew your attention?
No, just,
Head movements that drew your attention?
no.
Just that he
I was just watching what he was doing and making sure that he didn't get, near the customers or do anything.
Okay, thank you.
All right, you may be excused.
The defendant's parents. So his brother and sister, his brother and sister testified for the prosecution, but his parents are going to testify for the defense.
What was his date of birth, if you recall?
2 January 1970,
Where was he born?
Edwards Air Force Base, California.
At the time that he was born or shortly thereafter, did he have any physical
gone.
problems that you're aware of?
He had been crying a lot and all that. We took him in for a 6-week or 8-week checkup. And they found out he had a hole in his upper chambers of his heart. Required open heart surgery.
Were you a witness to any injury to his finger at any time?
Yes, we were living on base, had swamp coolers, and as we were going to go out the door one time, he had a finger in the way in the door, which yanked away by the pressure and clipped off about 1/8 of his finger.
Were they
That
able
didn't make
to
him
repair
crazy.
that?
They tried sewing it back on, but it didn't take.
Do you remember how old he was at that time?
We was born in 70 and we left 74, so only about 2 or 3 years old, I think it was. I don't remember the exact date.
I want to direct your attention to your home life in Tucson. Can you tell me if Robert spent a lot of time interacting with your other children?
When he was small, somewhat, and as he grew older, no, kept much to himself.
Okay. And when you say he kept much to himself, what do you mean by that?
He stayed in his room a lot. He started picking up the guitar and started playing the guitar in his room. He would stay a lot of times in his room, listen to music of different types that he liked.
Did he ever spend time at all in the front room area or other areas with the family?
No, not much. He never watched much television with us. He always pretty much stayed in his room. He had his own television room. He had very seldom stayed in watching when we watched.
What about meals? Where would he eat his meals? In his
A
room?
lot of times he would eat in his bedroom.
You say that he was interested in
There's a way to fix
music?
that.
Yes, he
Make
spent
him
a
eat
lot
in
of
the
his
dining
money
room
on
with the rest of the
buying,
family.
First, he bought his guitar, and then later bought an amplifier. He would buy sheet music. He would try to write his own songs. Would try to get them published. He would buy things for his guitar strings, and all that. 'Cause I used to take him a lot of time to the music shop to buy guitar strings and try to get together, form bands, different things like that.
What type of music did he appear to be mostly interested in? Do you remember some of the artists?
Yeah, the Beatles. He liked
Charles Manson
Guns
liked
N'
the
Roses.
Beach
He
Boys.
liked Debbie Gibson. That other girl that came out about the same time. I can't think of her name.
Do you remember
Tiffany.
whether or not he ever mentioned
It was Tiffany.
Tiffany at all?
Yeah, Tiffany. He liked her too.
Now, were most of his actions and directions centered around the music?
Quite a bit, because mostly, like I say, he stayed in his room, and pretty much he would go in there and strum on a guitar, play a lot of times, bought a lot of music books to play the guitar.
When you mention about his staying a lot of times in his room, that type of thing, did you ever have occasion to go in there and see how he was involving himself? In other words, were there lots of lights on? Were they dark? Did he keep it dark? What was going on?
A lot of times we'd go into his
Objection
room,
leading.
or especially late at part of the evening, that he'd be in there, the room would be dark, he'd have himself, in fact, he wouldn't knock on his door to go in there, he wouldn't in here, he'd go in there, he'd be in bed with pillows around him, and then he'd have his music box, small stereo, and he'd be listening to that, and he'd have it enclosed just so he would be just listening to the music.
Did he ever complain to you about noise at all?
Yes, a lot of times we had my third daughter, when she had her baby, she lived with us for quite a while, and the baby would stay home, would cry a lot, and he would,
Yeah.
after a while, he'd
He was
start to
in the
complain
dark
about that.
in his bed listening
He would
to I
complain, too,
Think We're
about the
Alone Now.
neighbors,
You
'cause
know
we had
what he
two
was
neighbors like to
doing.
have parties that got too long and too loud, and he would complain about this. Called the police on several occasions, had got into almost a fist fight with my back neighbor.
So it was the noise that seemed to bother him the most?
Yes.
Now, during the period of time, let's say when he was 13 years old up through the teens, can you tell us how he used to dress?
He's kind of real sloppy a lot of times. I commented several times. At this time, he'd been working at Jack and Boxy and all that, and tell me to change clothes, or when he started working to buy clothes to make his appearance look better. But he would rather spend the money on buying either videotapes or of the same, the Beatles, a lot of, because I've still got a lot of tapes, and and a lot of stuff in music. He spent mainly where he spent his money.
So he really didn't spend money on clothes?
No,
Right? Mostly on music?
mostly on music.
Did he have any nervous habits or routines that you could observe?
Yeah, a lot of times, and in fact, even school coming out, he'd like to pick his lips a lot, peeling the skin, and always like that. I've commented it, and other people, even his sisters and brothers, commented on him always picking his lips. Day, night, anytime. Anytime you see him, he had his fingers going to his lips.
And how long did that go on for, if you
At least for
remember?
a couple of years.
And when you last saw him prior to his arrest, in this case, was he still engaged in that kind of nervous habit?
I got so used to it that I didn't pay attention toward the last part.
You have a son as well by the name of Jeff,
Yes.
Jeffrey Bardo. Does your other son, Jeff, does he ever engage in sort of nervous habits or?
Yes, he likes to wash his hands, let's say 25, 30 times a day. He'll go around the house and have these rituals, go into the bathroom. He'll wash his hands several times, and after he washes them, then he'll turn the water on, off, with no apparent reason, just momentarily on and off. And before he leaves, he'll take the light switch and do the same thing with the light shift, 10 or 15 times, switch it on and off, fan, the same thing. He'll come out and walk in the hall, then he'll walk to his bedroom, then he'll come back to the bathroom, walk to the bathroom, walk to the bedroom, back to the bathroom. He'll repeat this, and different rituals fade and different ones come on. The hand washing still goes on.
Your Honor, I'm sorry. Was this the defendant we're talking about?
No.
Oh, the brother Jeff.
Brother Jeff.
As a result of what you've described as rituals, did you ever have, strike that, did the crisis unit ever arrive at your house?
Yes.
In response to Jeff?
Yes. In fact, he was put in Palo Verde Hospital for treatment there.
I would ask you to direct your attention to the relationships that Robert had as far as, say, your family. Did he interact with your other family members?
Oh, I say just during the early years he did. In later life, not too often, until, until this incident that then he begins, it seemed like he changed, and then he started reacting a little bit with his older brother.
How about with your other, your older brother being Edward, I take it?
Edward, yes.
And how about with your other family members, Arlene?
Arlene, no, not so much, because Arlene had broken away from home, was getting married, in the process of getting married, and had her own child. She eventually moved out on her own. So there wasn't much in it except watching her daughter. As far as Jeff, the only time you ever got Jeff, they always fought. A lot of times they got into fights because it clashed quite a bit.
The only person that he would interact with then would be who, Ed?
Ed, slightly, and mainly just toward the end till this incident.
Now, school, did Robert attend junior high school?
Yes,
And
Chaparral Junior High.
did he complete high school?
No, he dropped out of Pueblo High School. Went there for a few months, I forget exactly, but he dropped out.
Prior to Pueblo High School, his dropping out, during that period of time, and also at the junior high school, Chaparral, did you know your son Robert to have a lot of friends?
No, he had very few friends. In fact, I think over a period of time, you may bring one home once every 3 months or something like that. Very rare did he ever bring friends home.
Did he ever introduce you to a friend, or did he ever have a best friend or anything like that?
He would introduce them, and we may see him one time, like I say, and then we wouldn't see him anymore. He never was a constant friend, I say more than 3 times.
Well, let me ask you this. In a year's time, how many times in a year would you see him with, let's say, a friend?
Maybe about 3 times.
When he was going to school, prior to his dropping out of Pueblo High School, were you ever called into school because of any problems that Robert may have had with other students?
When he was at Chaparral, we got called in once from kids were picking on because of his appearance, his hair, his clothes. And then on another occasion that we were called in was when he was writing these suicide notes. Mr. Don Hickman, the counselor at the school, called us in to explain that he had received these letters from his teacher. I believe it was a Miss Morris or something like that, his art teacher, and she was receiving his affections through these letters, and he was complaining in these letters, and then he was going to commit suicide, and that's when Mr. Hickman had us come in for a counseling session.
Directing your attention still towards his relationships with others, did he ever have any girlfriends as far as you were aware?
No.
Did he ever bring home a girl and introduce you to a girlfriend of any kind?
No.
As far as you know, did he ever go on a date of any kind?
No.
Did you ever have the experience to become aware of whether or not Robert was hearing voices at any time?
When he was in Tucson Psychiatric Clinic, the doctor had explained that he had been hearing dual voices. He would hear on one side and hear out of the other side.
Did you, as a result of this, take any action at all?
Well, he was in the, right then he was in the clinic, and the doctor explained that they were treating him for this.
You've already told us that Robert at times was bothered by noise, outside noise,
Yes.
correct? Do you know whether or not he had any problems sleeping on occasion?
One time we found him, he had been sleeping at our old house. He had been sleeping on the roof. He couldn't stand the house, noise, or anything around the house. So he went up and slept on the roof all night long in his shorts,
Did he have anything else on besides the shorts?
just the shorts.
Did you ever find that he dressed inappropriately or strangely?
He always was kind of raunchy looking, his appearance. I commented several times, especially when he was working, that he ought to put some money towards clothes instead of towards the music things.
Did you ever observe him you said that on this one occasion you found him sleeping on the roof in his shorts,
Yes,
correct? Wearing only his shorts?
right.
Was that normal for him to be wearing shorts only?
No, because it's kind of cool out, and especially sleeping on a gravel-type roof. It's kind of rough to sleep on that just in shorts on.
Did you ever, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Okay.
Did you ever know Robert to be dressed only in shorts, to walk
Yeah.
outside?
Yes, a lot of times we'd come home, even in chilly weather, cold weather, in the house, we'd have the heater down low. He'd be at home just in gym shorts, and he'd sit down. If we wanted to get the mail, he'd go out and get the mail just in gym shorts. It could be cold, real cold outside, and he'd run out there and come back.
So even if it was cold outside, there'd be occasions that he would be wearing only shorts?
Only shorts.
It
No
doesn't
shirt?
sound
No
like
shirts,
they
no
saw
shoes?
any of this
No
as a
shoes.
red
He'd just
flag.
run out there and get the mail. It was one of these community mailboxes that set down about 100 yards from the house.
Did you become aware as to whether or not Robert ever took a trip to see Samantha Smith?
Yes, we had been, one morning my wife woke up and she, I don't remember the exact dates, but she was looking for some money because I think we were getting ready to go to the store or something, and there was $150 missing out of her purse. And we looked for Robert and trying to figure out where it went. And Robert was missing, hadn't come around. So we waited a while, and then next day he hadn't showed up, so we called the Tucson police, explained what happened, asked them if they knew anything about him leaving. In fact, we even went down to the bus station and see if they might have knew whether he left, and they didn't. And then we gave them the information to all the police, and then later we found out that they picked him up in Maine, in the hometown of Samantha Smith, and the only way they caught him was that he happened to ask the police for directions to go to her house, and the police had been alerted by the bulletin.
The police contacted you then?
I
Yes.
want to know what kind of pin that is.
And I take it that the police had him in some detention facility for a period
Yes,
of
they had
time?
him in the Maine, I forget the whole name of the hospital. They had him in the hospital there, and then they released him to a brotherhood or like a foster care center.
Do you know whether or not, at that period of time, whether or not Robert made any attempts at suicide?
Yes, he had taken a ballpoint pen. They told me when they called me up, they'd attempted suicide, stabbing into his arm with this pen, and then they took him back to the hospital.
And he was placed in a hospital there?
Yes, and they did some kind of evaluations on him.
As far as you,
Okay, you guys know I have a morbid sense of humor being a nurse, right? Like healthcare professionals. It's not funny. But usually, if you're going to try to commit suicide with a pen, you stab yourself in the neck, not the arm. What was he trying to do? Like, hit the artery in his wrist? Like, usually you do here.
did Robert ever take a trip to New York to see
You
Debbie
do
Gibson?
here.
Yes, he had taken a trip to New York because he later complained about it because I think the whole time he was there had rained and he got kind of soggy wet from it.
And how did he finance that trip?
He had saved money from work
Okay. And when you say work, that would be where?
when he was working at Jack in the Box.
How long was he in New York?
I think just a few days. 2 or 3, I think of the mag.
Did you discuss this trip with him?
No, I didn't. Other than when he came back, he let us know how damp the weather was and all that up there.
Did he indicate to you where he had
Well, he
slept?
might have got attention. He didn't
Not
get
there,
help.
but,
That's
on
for
other
sure.
trips he did.
Did he advise you as to whether or not he had gone to visit the school, high school of Debbie Gibson?
No, he did not.
Okay. Were
The only
you,
reason he mentioned New York a lot is I'm from Brooklyn, New York, and that's my hometown, so we kind of associated it somewhere.
No, I have not objected to the statements of the defendant. I just want to make the record clear. I'm assuming that they're not coming in for the truth of the matter.
I presume
That's correct.
Based on some kind of expert opinion.
that's correct, Your Honor. Were you,
Proceed with that in mind and not accept it for the truth of the matter stated.
were you aware of your son Robert taking trips to Los Angeles?
Yes,
About how many trips would you say that you became aware of?
about 3 or 4 trips.
Now, during this period of time that he was taking trips to Los Angeles, was he working?
Yes, he was working at Jack in the Box at the time.
And would he quit his job, or would he just take a leave?
No, he would quit his job, and then when he came back, he would go see him again, and they would rehire him, and he did this several times.
Now you're aware that, well, strike that. On any of these trips to Los Angeles, were you ever contacted by members of the Los Angeles Police Department?
Yes, I was.
Do you remember approximately when that was?
I don't remember the date, but I remember
And there's
what
more
happened.
school
When
shootings
you were
now
contacted by the
than
police
ever.
department, what
Yeah,
what
that's
did they
working
tell you?
out great.
That he had been mugged and robbed, lost his money, lost whatever, all the stuff he had on him.
And as a result, did you come down to pick up Robert?
No, the police turned around and sent him back home to their special fund.
Had you given Robert any of your personal property on that particular trip?
Yes, he had my binoculars, and he had, and they were gone.
Now, on any occasion, did he, around the period of 1989, June 1989, indicate to you that he was planning on taking a trip to Los Angeles for the purpose of seeing Rebecca Schaeffer?
Yes, he did.
Well, that would be great. That's good that they were aware of that. But why do so many kids fall through the cracks? Like the school shooters, you know? There's no real solution. It's sad. It's really like there's an episode of Criminal Minds where there's this kid that got bullied, and he kidnaps his girlfriend, but she doesn't know she's kidnapped. Like, she just thinks that she's a little slow. And she thinks they're like on an adventure or something. I don't know. But anyways, he kidnaps her. He unalives her dad. He unalives some guys that were bullying him and recorded it and put it on the internet. And Spencer Reed, if you guys don't watch Criminal Minds, Spencer Reed is the youngest member of the BAU team on Criminal Minds, and he's a genius. So he was like 12 when he was in high school and like 16 when he was in college. And he was bullied because he was different. And when the guy turned himself in, Reed got in between, because like all the other FBI agents had their guns trained on this guy, and Spencer was afraid they were gonna shoot him, so he got in between the guns and the guy to like talk him down. And he was like really rude with the cops. Like, yeah, this guy got bullied and you guys did nothing about it. Like, because he was bullied as a kid because he was 12 years old and in high school. So he got bullied for being different. And it's just, they fall through the cracks, but they're trying. Like, the schools are trying. Like, look at, who was it? Was it Crumley? Like, those parents that ended up going to jail because of their son doing the school shooting. Like, the guidance counselor brought the mom in and said, you know, he drew a guy, had a drawing of someone with a gun shooting people. And she was like, well, I can't do anything about it now, and left him at school. And then he shot people. Like, they try, but there's like no solution. It's still happening. There's not a solution. Like, all these crazy, I shouldn't use the word crazy, disturbed people, they're everywhere. And it starts like in teenage years, and they still fall through the cracks. You just like, you fill one hole and then another one pops up. What's the No Child Left Behind Act? I haven't heard of that. Oh, that's what that is? Why would they do that? That doesn't make any sense to me. Well, that explains why everybody's stupid now. You know, I watched a cooking video the other day, and they were making an old recipe that everybody had to make in home ec class, like back in the 60s. And there's no home ec classes anymore. They used to teach you how to do a checkbook. Nobody even uses checks anymore, but like do finances, learn to cook basic things, learn to use a washer and dryer. I didn't know how to use a washer and dryer till after my mom died. My dad taught me, like, because she didn't teach me to do anyone. Marty, give us your opinion. Sure, we want to hear. Why would you say that? No, I'm just saying that people like Robert Bardo and other disturbed people, they fall through the cracks. They don't get caught, and then someone ends up dead. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's great that they caught that Nichelle's son was acting out because he had, upset. He was upset about something. But then you've got the people that really end up hurting people, that, like the Crumleys. That one didn't fall through the crack. It was his parents that didn't do anything about it. The school caught it.
Now, prior to his advising you that he was going to take this trip to LA to see Rebecca Schaeffer, had you gone to a movie with Robert?
Yes, we went to see Die Hard. Not Die Hard 2, but Lethal Weapon 2.
And after you saw that movie with Robert, when did he tell you that he was going to go to Los Angeles to see Rebecca Schaeffer?
Okay, on the way home, which was unusual that he wanted to leave the next day because he wasn't planning to go to Los Angeles until later in the month or later in the week. I know it was much later than when he planned to go because he had been saving his money and wanted to save more money for the trip.
So you were aware of his plans to travel to Los Angeles to see Rebecca Schaeffer, correct?
Yes, we knew that's where he was going.
And then after you watched this movie, Lethal Weapon 2 with Robert, on the way home, he advised you that he was going to move up? that
Yes,
day?
that he was going to leave that next day.
Did he tell you why he had decided to advance his plans?
He said some reason he had to go now.
He told you that he had to go.
Yes, he had to go because I told him, well, you said you were going to go later. See, Rob also contributed some of his money to the home. So yeah, I know that his funds were being stretched.
Did he have tapes of videotapes of various shows?
Yes, he did.
Did he have any tapes concerning Rebecca Schaeffer?
Yes, he used to tape my sister Sam. In fact, never did want to. He'd always ask me, could he use the television during that period of time to tape the show?
And to your knowledge, did he in fact tape that show?
Yes, he did. I believe the police have the tapes.
After his trip in July of 1989, you became aware of his arrest in relationship to the death of Rebecca Schaeffer?
The way I caught about it was we happened to be watching the CNN news, and I heard that Rebecca had been killed. And my first thought, knowing my son had gone to see it, was that we couldn't believe it. But and then as soon as we heard it, my son went and checked to see if the pistol was still in the house, and then he went searching for it where he had hid it, and the pistol was gone.
Did you have occasion to go into the room of your son Robert after you became aware of his arrest?
Yes, well, we went in there soon, and we've been cleaning out his room because to the feeling that either he was going to go down and work or he was going to stay for a long time. His room was a disaster area. So we cleaned out a lot of his papers and books that would just look trash, and we threw it away and cleaned it up.
Did you throw away any of these materials and items?
Yes, we threw them away in the trash because it was just too messy. He would throw money around and leave that, a lot of small change, papers. He's always constantly writing either music or notes and different items.
Was his room generally messy?
Yes.
Do you remember whether or not you threw away a diary?
Yeah, he had like a notebook that you use in school, in which he would write music and poems and tidbit items, different items about people and different situations.
Do you know whether or not in that diary he ever contained any information about Rebecca Schaeffer?
I'm not really sure on that. There was odds and ends things. Like I say, I read just a few of them. I didn't read every item in the book.
But you know for a fact that it had some of his writings.
Oh yeah, definitely. There were songs. I looked at some of the songs. They're like heavy metal songs, like hard to understand.
And he had poems written as well?
Yes, poems.
Sir, what is your occupation?
I'm a retired Air Force maintenance mechanic, and presently I'm working in security work.
When you were in the Air Force, did you ever engage in heavy drinking?
Oh yes, we used to drink it because it was common for mechanics on a Friday night to head for the NCO club and would drinking, or sometimes when we had performed a good exercise, the pilots or the squadron would bring out a bunch of kegs of beer and we would drink.
So it was normal at that period of time in your life to engage in drinking with your other employees in the Air Force?
Yes. Not to excess like I did sometimes, but yes, we did drink.
I have nothing further, Your Honor.
Bruce?
Good afternoon, Mr.
Yeah.
And how many times have you met with Mr. Galindo, sir?
1, 2, 3 times, I believe it is. Today, and I think a year ago we came and met him once. So actually, I think it's 2 times we've met personally.
And once on the phone?
Several times on the phone.
Several times?
Trying to get updated on how Roberts was doing. Robert would write us different things in letters. We'd ask him questions about it, and he'd check it out, like danger to his health and where he was at, and we asked him about it to different things like this. What's the status, how he's coming on the trial.
You still care very much about your son, don't you, sir?
Oh, yes.
And when you've spoken to Mr. Galindo, has he informed you of what he planned to do in the way of your son's defense?
Yes.
And did he explain to you that he would be pursuing a mental defense?
Yes.
Let me ask you, sir, to your knowledge, did your son Robert wear glasses?
Yes.
And do you know what the correction was?
Slight, but I don't know what it was offhand.
Do you know if he was farsighted or nearsighted?
I think it was nearsighted. I don't. It's been so long. Trouble keeping track of my own glasses.
Do you recall, sir, giving a statement to the Tucson police back around the time that this occurred? And do you recall that they tape recorded that statement, sir?
Yes, sure.
And, okay, what I have here is a transcript. And so I'm going to be periodically showing you this transcript, okay, to refresh your memory if we need to. And do you recall telling the Tucson police when you spoke to them on July 19th of 1989, I'm reading from the top of this, July 19th, 1989 at about 1:50 p.m. First of all, they spoke to you in your home, sir?
Yes.
And at the time that they spoke to you, they asked you questions about what occurred on the day that you took your son to the bus station to Los Angeles?
Yes, we drove him down to the bus station.
Now, that was in itself was not unusual, was it?
No, because I've taken him to, we've picked him up at the airport, we've taken him to the bus before.
And on those previous occasions, had he also gone to Los Angeles?
Once to Los Angeles, I think we took him to New York, to the bus station in New York, I'm not sure. But I know we've taken him more than once.
Okay, so sometimes to Los Angeles and sometimes to New York, is that?
Yes. I think he just made the one trip to New York. But I know we took him another time down to the bus area.
Okay, are there perhaps some trips that he's taken that you were not aware of in terms of where he was going, just knew that he was leaving?
Like the trip to Maine, we didn't even know he was gone.
Okay. Were there other occasions where he left and you didn't know where he went? Maybe until he got back and told you.
I think we take it to Suma. No, I don't think so. Because he didn't really tell us every time that he was going, just when he got ready to go and that he was going. In fact, I don't even think, other than dropping him off at the bus station, to go to New York. And then the last trip that he took to go to Los Angeles, he told us that he had to go down there.
Okay. So there were some occasions then when he went off on trips and you didn't know where he was going?
Like when he went to Phoenix to see, trying to see Debbie Gibson up there with his brother, he didn't tell us, they just left and went. In fact, I think he went with Edward at the time.
Okay.
To go up there to see that show. She was scheduled to come into Phoenix.
Let me ask you, sir, did you say earlier that there was some incident that occurred where there was some incident that occurred that caused Robert to be more warm or more friendly with his older brother, Edward?
It seemed like towards the last couple of months before this incident that he got seemed to be warmer more towards Edward, and even me. He was taking me to the movies. That wasn't the only movie he tried to take me. I can't think of the other one, but we had seen a couple movies there. Seemed awful friendly. In the last month or two or so.
In the last month or two?
Yeah.
And that was unusual?
A lot, in a sense that he got involved in activities with Edward that he seemed to always shy away from, you know, associating with Edward and his friends, in that type of situation where before he, like I say, mostly stayed in his room, stayed to himself or with his music. Once in a while toward the latter part too, trying to form a band with some people from the music shop.
In that last month or two where they became closer, to your knowledge, were they getting involved, or was your son Robert getting involved in guns at that time?
Yes. Edward and a few of his friends had purchased, not Edward himself, but his friends had purchased some weapons, and they used to go out in the desert to a safe area and fire them.
Okay. So in that last month or two before the murder is when Robert, got friendly with Ed and got involved in guns, to your knowledge, for the first time?
For the first time, right.
To your knowledge, prior to that, he had never been interested in guns before?
No, not that I know of.
Now, sir, in your home, the way it's set up, did Edward and Jeffrey share a room?
Yes, and they still do.
And they still do. And Robert had his own room?
Right.
Before the police arrived to have the interview with you, did you remove anything from Robert's room that you put up in an attic crawl space?
No.
You didn't hide anything then?
No.
You just threw away what you thought was
Yeah, I threw away a lot
garbage?
of trash and papers in his room.
Among those trash and papers, were they perhaps fan magazines?
I think those were still in the room because they're still there. There's still some fan magazines in the room.
In the room?
In fact, they were not so much in the room as they were out in the garage in boxes.
Okay. Counsel, this is page 424 of discovery, page 3 of the transcript. I'm going to approach the witness. Regarding whether your son Robert...
This is a transcript of statements made by this witness and not the preliminary hearing.
That's correct. Thank you, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
Your Honor, I have no objection if counsel wants to stipulate that the transcript be received and perhaps you've been given a copy. It might make it easier for you as far as...
Is the offer of stipulation accepted or rejected?
I don't see why not. Sure. I'll stipulate.
Is there a spare copy?
I'll make one.
Right.
I'm just going to refresh your recollection, sir. Do you recall telling the police that your son Robert wore glasses for farsightedness? That's the part right here.
Yeah. I may have at the time. I knew he wore glasses.
Okay. Would that have been a true and accurate statement at the time you made it, sir?
It probably was because it probably a lot more current on it at that time.
Okay. So to your knowledge then, your son Robert was interested in Debbie Gibson, is that right?
Oh, yes.
And he was also interested in Tiffany?
Yes, but he hadn't made no trips as far as I know to see her.
He only made trips to see Debbie Gibson and...
Yes, the trip to New York and the trip to Phoenix.
And did he ever go to Los Angeles to locate her as well?
I am not sure on that. I always assumed that he was going to see Samantha. I mean, Rebecca.
Okay, and to the best of your knowledge, he liked Tiffany, but he didn't go to visit her?
No. He had bought several tapes with her music.
Okay. Did you ever see your son Robert sitting alone in his room with the gun that he and Edward had bought?
I believe on one occasion I have.
And do you recall telling the Tucson police that you had heard on the television or radio that they were saying that Robert was crazy and that you didn't think he was crazy? Do you remember saying that?
No, I don't remember. Because I told the detectives, I think, toward the end of the statement that I think he needs help, mental hospital type help. And that was the main thing. That we were very interested that, in fact, at the time of his arrest, I was notified at the house to come down and pick him up because he was running between traffic. And at that time, I informed the lady sheriff, or the city police, I believe it was, that they better check him out to see if he had a gun. And it was there that they radioed it to their drivers, and I believe...
Let me ask you this, sir. When your son Robert left for Los Angeles on July 17th, was there anything unusual about the way he was behaving?
Oh, and I don't know, really unusual. He just said, goodbye, Dad, goodbye, Mom, and that's all. Then left for the bus, I can
Did I just
recall.
go
that
deaf? What
unusual?
happened to the sound?
Well, when he goes on trips, because, we got so used to him going on these trips that, we didn't think of anything.
Okay, so there was nothing that he was doing, or in the manner he was doing it in, that made you say, God, he's acting weird this time? He was acting the same as usual?
More or less. Other than the only thing that struck us, the only thing he had one was a plastic bag. It seemed odd that was the only baggage he had at the time. Bags, he wasn't taking anything really with him.
Well, on previous trips, when he had gone to Los Angeles, did he usually carry more than that?
It seemed like he did. Well, he took the binoculars, and it seemed like a little bit bigger bag, like a shopping bag. It seemed like he had with him.
This time he seemed to have a little less than usual.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you recall telling the Tucson police, sir, that the defendant, that your son Robert did not tell you that he was going to see Rebecca Schaeffer when he left for Los Angeles on July 17th?
No, I don't. Because the only time you just go to Los Angeles, that's generally who we know who he's going to see. Because he had on previous occasions.
Let me show you the transcript, sir, on page 2, where the police officer asks you, first he said, why did you take Robert to the bus depot? He wanted to go to Los Angeles. He said he had to see somebody there. And did he tell you who he wanted to see?
I can
No,
hear it,
not
but
at
it
the
got
time.
muffled.
But we surmised from his television tapings the person he wanted to go see. Do you recall making that statement, sir?
Not exactly, but that sounds logical.
Does that reflect?
Because I say his trips to Los Angeles were generally to see her.
Okay. So does that refresh your memory that you maybe assumed he was going to see her, but he did not tell you that?
It could very possibly be, yes.
He didn't tell you that he was carrying a gun at the time, did he?
No.
And he said that he'd be back in a couple of days?
Yes.
Now, he made many calls to Los Angeles and New York from your home. Is that correct, sir?
That's correct.
And did he ever tell you who he was calling?
No, he didn't. He would offer to pay for the bill, that's all.
Now, you indicated to the police officers in Tucson, in this conversation that I've been showing you the transcript of, that about a week after they purchased the gun together, Robert went back and bought some bullets on his own. Do you recall that?
Yes.
And do you recall the kind of bullets he purchased?
I think they were flathead type Magnum bullets.
Do you recall telling the police that they were hollow points?
Yeah, okay, yeah, hollow point. I just couldn't remember the name of them.
And some were full jacket and some were semi-jacketed?
Yes.
Now, do you recall
Now it
telling the police
unmuffled.
also that you learned at some point
Weird.
about Robert having contacted a private investigator to find someone?
No, I didn't know that he contacted a private investigator.
Did you tell the police, sir, that you had learned through your other sons and daughters that he had hired a private investigator to
Yeah,
find
later.
someone?
Yes.
About a month before he left for Los Angeles this last time, sir, do you recall taking him to a shop that sold maps?
Yes.
And do you recall him telling you after he came out of the store that he had gotten what he had wanted?
He said he got the information, and he said he was looking for a certain area and that they had it, because I think I had some maps at home that suffice his need.
Okay. And do you know which maps he was looking for, if they were of Los Angeles?
Yes, of Los Angeles, somewhere in Los Angeles.
Do you recall that Robert had been calling around to various places to find out where a certain street in Los Angeles was located?
I heard him once call on it, asking for some street. I didn't really pay attention to it.
Do you recall? You don't recall the name of the street today?
No.
If I told you the name, would that refresh your memory? If I suggested some names to you?
You may or may not, because I know he called a lot of calls, and he offered to pay for the bills. And so.
Now, within about 6 months before he went to Los Angeles this last time, he got his GED.
Yes.
That's the high school equivalency diploma?
Yes.
Okay. And also his driver's license?
Yes.
And how does he learn to play the guitar? Did he take lessons?
No.
How did he learn, if you know?
Through the book and through these books that he was buying. I think he had one lesson, which it seemed like he had this music shop that he went down to all the time. I think he went there for one lesson, but mostly it was from the books he had.
Well, Marty, I told you I wanted to hear him.
Okay, you stated that Robert went to was it Tucson Psychiatric Clinic when he was in high school?
Yes.
Okay, do you know, first of all, why he went there?
It was for this, writing these suicide letters, I believe.
Okay.
I believe that was the occasion for that. Because he had went to Palo Verde Psychiatric Clinic, and then he also went to Tucson Psychiatric, and I'm not sure for which thing, but I think that was when the Tucson I think came about of these suicide letters, I think.
Okay. Do you recall whether he had suicide, it was the suicide letters that caused him to go to Palo Verde Hospital as well? Was there two different reasons that he went to psychiatric institutes, or was it the same thing both times, if you know?
Marty, I've lost so many
I don't
friends
remember
because of
exact time.
mine.
It changed a lot of that. I know both times he went, and both were involving, I don't know whether the second time was because he was running away. He had been, the one time he wrote the letters that he was taken out of the home, that we didn't even know about it. I can't think of the name of the, Mr. Wilson, the Child Protective Services came out and removed them from the home, and they put him in I guess what you call a foster home. And he was there, and he ran away from that, called us to pick him up, and I called Mr. Wilson, and they put him in another one, and he ran away from that and came home, and then I think this might have been when he went into the psychiatric clinic.
Do you know why they came and took him out of your home?
He was saying, I think, either treatment from the end of wife or the noise he couldn't stay in the house.
Because he was complaining at school about the conditions at home?
I believe part of it. Condition at home and his life.
Now, you indicate that when he went to Tucson, after he came out of Tucson Clinic, was it the doctor who spoke to you and told you that Robert was hearing voices?
Oh,
Yes, we
I
had seen
agree.
him prior to him coming out of there, that he had been
I
hearing
agree.
these voices. Yeah,
And,
on one of the visits we had when we went to see Robert.
okay, one of the visits when you went to the Institute.
All right.
Also, yep. Also, I was a pediatric nurse, and that's what we called patients, mentally retarded. That was a medical term for that condition, was mentally retarded. I would love to know what they're calling it now, since you can't use that word anymore. But that was the the medical term for that condition. That was it was completely politically correct. That was the medical term. So I would love to know, it's mentally disabled. I wonder if because we used to say for shorthand, it was CPMR, cerebral palsy, mentally retarded. But you can you can be mentally retarded without having cerebral palsy and vice versa. But maybe they say, maybe it's CPMD now. Oh, it's developmentally disabled? So CPDD. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, it's like saying red rum on YouTube, which I don't do most of the time because I think it's stupid. Maybe when I actually get monetized, I will have to, like Peter Trago says M instead of murder. But I don't know, whatever. Just like not saying, saying the vid instead of, or panda or whatever. Yeah. I saw a video, I don't remember what it was on. I don't know if it was YouTube or Instagram or Facebook or whatever, but there was a guy it was a black kid and he had dreads, and his dad was shaving his dreads off while he was screaming his head off, and it was punishment because he had made fun of a kid that had cancer and was bald. So his dad shaved his head. And the caption was just, "Is this good parenting?" And I was like, yes, absolutely 100%. That's excellent parenting. I thought that was a fantastic punishment. It'll make you bald too. See how you like it. Let them make fun of you now. That was great. And then someone in the comments said that their kid had used Google Translate to insult a Chinese kid in their native language. And so their parent made them learn an apology in Chinese and made them apologize to that kid in their native language. And I was like, that's excellent. That is the kind of inventive punishment I like. That needs to be, every parent needs to do that kind of punishment. That's amazing. Your oldest son was stoned? I don't think that's what you meant. Wow. I thought only kids that were adopted got ODD. That's got to be rough. Stunted. Okay. Wow. Spinal meningitis is rough. I've taken care of kids with that too. I watched what movie is it? Pet Cemetery. Have you guys seen Pet Cemetery? The mom in Pet Cemetery's her sister died of spinal meningitis, and in the movie they make her seem like she was a monster because it's like a flashback scene. And this was before I was a nurse, and I thought spinal meningitis made you look like you were a monster. And then when I actually took care of patients with it, I was like, oh, it doesn't make you look like a monster. That movie was whack. Oh, that's sad. That's rough. Yeah, delayed kids are really, as a nurse, it's hard, but the parents, it's even harder because you have 9 months you carry this child and you expect, you're going to have this nice little bundle of joy that's going to hit all the marks, and then when they don't, it's so devastating. But it all works out. And let me tell you something. Special needs kids, those parents are the best parents ever. You would think that they would just be like, nah, my kid's messed up. They're not. Those kids are like gold to them. They're the best parents ever. Ever. It's amazing.
The doctor said that he complained of hearing voices.
Yes.
Participation trophies are BS too. Win or lose, it's a competition.
And it was one voice in one ear and one voice in the other ear?
Something like that. He just complained that they heard more than one voice.
Did he say what the voices were saying?
He may have at the time, but it's been too long.
Had Robert ever told you about hearing voices?
No, not that I can ever recall.
Did Robert's teachers ever tell you that he was complaining of hearing voices?
Not that I can recall, no.
Travis can barely read and write.
After Robert came out of the clinic, did you discuss this matter of hearing voices with him?
No, not that I can recall that way.
Did he ever complain to you about hearing voices after he came out?
No. Robert pretty much kept to himself a lot of times.
You indicate that Robert would walk around in his shorts in the house a lot.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
What
In fact, I thought that's the only clothes he had for quite a while.
what temperature do you keep the house at?
Probably about 70, 75.
70 to 75?
Yeah. Depends on how cold it feels. Sometimes he's home by himself.
Okay. Did you ever notice him going to school in just his shorts?
No.
Did you ever see him go to the store in just his shorts? The grocery store, I'm thinking.
The long grocery stores are far away. No, I can't think of it, no.
Do you ever see him walking downtown in his shorts?
No.
When he went to work, did he go to work dressed in a uniform?
Yes.
And during that point in time when you said he was sleeping on the roof,
Yes.
did you see him sleeping on the roof, sir?
Yes. I came out of the house and I come up and he had all these white rocks, loose were white. I had come out and seen him and told him to get down from there.
Did he spend the entire night on the roof?
Yes. I didn't exactly see the time he went off, but he had told me that he slept up there.
Did he say why?
He might at the time. I don't remember exactly why.
Because of the noise, maybe?
I don't think so because I really don't know.
Do you know what time of year it was?
I think it was in the fall.
And was this in Tucson?
Yes.
Was it like October?
Not remember the exact time. I can't answer that.
Did he ever complain to you about it being too warm for him in the house?
At times, sometimes, yes.
What just happened? What just happened? I don't even. Where it didn't give me my control. I can't. Ah. Hang on. I don't know what just happened. I hate Court TV's website. I don't know where we were.
It's on the writing. I'm sorry, on the.
Oh, let's redo it.
More than I enjoy the movie. Pardon me? You seem like you.
The time when he was taken into custody in Maine, was it? When he went to see Samantha Smith? You indicate that you had a report he had stabbed his arm with a ballpoint pen?
They called me, told me.
Did they tell you of any kind of medical treatment that he received as a result of that?
They told me some, but I don't remember exactly. They told him they took him over to the Maine General, some kind of Maine hospital, and he was treated over there.
Do you know what he was treated for or how he was treated?
Not that I can remember offhand. That's too long.
Too long ago. Can you remember whether when he came back to you, he had any medications that he was required to take?
Not
Still.
offhand, I can't remember, no. The biggest problem was to get him back from Maine, to bring him back to Tucson. Because I think he went on television there, and they managed to get funds to send him back.
May I have a moment, Your Honor? Can you tell me, sir, if you recall what was Robert wearing when he left for Los Angeles the last time?
No, I can't read offhand. It's been too long.
Okay, at the time that you gave a statement to the Tucson Police Department, were the events fresher in your mind then?
Yes,
And so your memory was much
Where you
clearer
been?
as to what he was wearing at that time?
You're late.
yes.
Since we are going to admit the transcript, I will not go and refresh this witness's memory at this time with it then. So to the best of your knowledge, had you ever seen Robert to be violent with anyone other than his brother?
Yes, on occasion he wanted to put cable television in his room and put a jack. I told him it was okay, but they had drilled the hole in the wrong way, and my wife came in, and she was highly upset because it put a hole through the wall, and she didn't. And a brick outside, she seen that, and she didn't like that one bit, and she told Robert no, she didn't want it done. So a servant said, "Oh, I'm going to take it out," but Robert got highly upset and swung at her.
Did you just say
Did
Robert
he hit her?
swung at his mom?
I believe he did. He hit her in the arm, I think, or something.
Was it very serious?
No.
She didn't go to the hospital or anything?
No, she didn't have to go to the hospital. I think it bruised her arm, or bruised her where it hit her.
And when did that happen?
That was, I think, within 6 months before he left. I think it was.
this a movie that you saw with Robert just before he went to Los Angeles?
Lethal Weapon.
Was it?
Yeah, Lethal Weapon too. Yeah, we were commenting about it, yes, I liked it. I like action movies, a lot of action movies. And the humor in it was pretty good. We had a few good laughs about it.
And how long before he went to Los Angeles did you see that movie together?
Oh, probably within 3 or 4 days.
Did he tell you that there was something in that movie that made him want to go to Los Angeles?
No.
Nothing further.
Yes, some questions. Mr. Bardo, when was your son planning on going to Los Angeles before he advanced the date?
It was either a week or the end of the month when he had a little bit more money. Because I think we had a bill come up and he helped us towards, and I think it cut him short for his planned trip.
How long before he left did he advance the date, as far as you know, from what he told you?
I would say probably right after we seen that movie. I think on the way home, we were driving home, that he mentioned that.
Do you remember when you saw the movie?
The date?
Yeah, more or less.
No, I don't remember it. It was that same month. Was that same month?
Same month? Do you remember if it was before or after the 4th of July?
It was after the 4th of July.
After the 4th of July was when you saw the movie?
Right.
You know how much after the 4th of July?
I would say within a few days before he left.
A few days before he left? All right. Did you talk about the movie while it was going on?
Yeah, we laughed about it, joked about it. Some of the jokes were pretty good in it. And he asked me, did I like it? Because I'm an action fan. In fact, I have a lot of tapes on action movies.
Did he seem to be laughing in the right place when there were jokes on the screen?
It seemed like he was concerned more that I enjoyed the movie.
Pardon?
He seemed like he was more concerned whether I enjoyed the movie, really, I thought.
What,
You say, how do you like it? How
Did
do
you
you
hear him laugh during the movie?
Yeah, I've heard him
Did he
laugh.
seem to be laughing in the right places? Whether it was...
Well, it seemed like he'd be laughing with the rest of the people in the
With the
audience.
rest of the people?
In the audience that were laughing.
Did he ever laugh at any time when you thought it was the wrong time to laugh?
No, not that I can recall. But, you know, you sit there, you don't really pay attention to stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Or if he did, it wasn't noticeable.
Is there a lot of violence in that movie?
On and off.
On and off.
There's a lot of comedy mixed with the violence in it.
All right.
What movie are they talking about?
When did he tell you he was going to Los Angeles this last time? In other words, let me make this clear. He told you he was going to Los Angeles maybe a week after he really went, and then he advanced that date. Is that correct?
Yeah, he informed us that he was going to Los Angeles. I would say even before we went to the movie, but it was going to be later in the week or month. But it was much later that he was going to go.
The first time he said he was going to Los Angeles, do you remember when that was? Say in relation to the 4th of July again.
I think it was after.
After the 4th of July?
I'll be positive. It seemed like it closer to the time.
All right.
I want to make sure I understand that, Mr. Bardo. Your recollection is that the first time that he told you he was going to Los Angeles, meaning the last trip, was close to the time that you had seen that movie, Lethal Weapon 2?
Right.
I have a few follow-up questions.
Let me say it this way. That was the time he was going to go soon, right after he seen the movie.
That was the time when he told you he had to go.
Yeah, he had to go.
But he had told you he was going to go before that.
Before that.
All right, did he tell you for the first time about that last trip that he took? Did he tell you about that before the 4th of July or after?
I believe it was after the 4th of July. It seemed like it was close to the event that a couple weeks before he actually had left, that he was going to go to Los Angeles. He said he was going to go toward later month. I think he was planning on getting a job or something at the time, that he was going to try and stay down there this time.
He told you at one point that he was going to stay in Los Angeles?
Yeah, that he
get
got
a
a
job
job.
in Los Angeles? All right, go ahead.
He told you that on that last trip that he was planning, in reference to going to Los Angeles, that he was planning on getting a job, staying in Los
Yeah,
Angeles?
either he's going to do something or going to stay down. In fact, I think that's the reason what activated us to clean up his room, that he was going to stay longer this time. He was going to see if he could get a job down there.
So your definite information or impression was that he would not be returning?
Not for a while.
Not for a while.
It's a compliment. It's a compliment. Marty McFly's a good guy. What is happening? Why are you doing this, Court TV? Stop. I hate this website so much.
I'm an action fan. In fact, I have a lot of tapes on action movies.
You'd seen that movie, Lethal Weapon 2?
Right.
I have a few follow-up questions.
All right, then.
Let me say it this way. That was the time he was going to go soon, right after he seen the movie.
That was the time when he told you he had to go.
Yeah, he had to go.
But he had told you he was going to go before that.
Before that.
All right, did he tell you for the first time about that last trip that he took? Did he tell you about that before the 4th of July or after?
I believe it was after the 4th of July. It seemed like it was close to the event that a couple weeks before he actually had left, that he was going to go to Los Angeles. He said he was going to go toward later month. I think he was planning on getting a job or something at the time, that he was going to try and stay down there this time.
He told you at one point that he was going to stay in Los Angeles?
Yeah, that he
get
got
a
a
job
job.
in Los Angeles? All right, go ahead.
He told you that on that last trip that he was planning, in reference to going to Los Angeles, that he was planning on getting a job, staying in Los
Yeah,
Angeles?
either he's going to do something or going to stay down. In fact, I think that's the reason what activated us to clean up his room, that he was going to stay longer this time. He was going to see if he could get a job down there.
So your definite information or impression was that he would not be returning?
Not for a while.
Not for a while.
They're all messing with the stream.
Just some quick follow-up questions, Mr. Bardo. Prior to the trial starting, I have seen you a total of how many times?
You see me once a year ago, and then we seen today,
Those are the only times,
that
right?
I can recall.
But I did speak to you a lot on the phone,
Yes,
particularly this weekend, did I not?
yes.
And in fact, I spoke to you on the phone and I made arrangements for you to fly down here.
Correct.
And how is it that you were able to fly down here to Los Angeles?
That you had bought us the tickets, we picked the tickets up at the Tucson airport and flew in.
Okay. I made arrangements on, do you remember the day that I made arrangements to purchase tickets so that you could fly down here?
You had purchased them Sunday. Your office was supposed to activate and get them sooner, but they, I guess, dropped the ball, and then you took it Sunday and made the arrangements and told us to go pick up the tickets.
Okay. Now, the police, I want to direct your attention to the time of his arrest, Robert's arrest. After his arrest, the police had gone into your home and searched your home, correct?
Correct.
After the search of your home, did you notice whether or not the police had neglected to retrieve a cassette tape with the name of Rebecca Schaeffer on it?
Yes, they did.
And was there other writing besides the name of Rebecca Schaeffer on the tape?
Yes, it had the, I guess, the date of her birth and this year, and that year's 89 on it.
When I spoke to you on Sunday and I purchased some tickets for you, some plane tickets, did I ask you to bring that cassette tape?
Yes, you did.
And did you bring it?
No, I didn't. I couldn't locate it.
What else do you remember was on the writing, on the tape, cassette tape, besides the name of Rebecca Schaeffer?
Okay, there was the man that killed Manson, well, something about Manson on the first song, and I forget the rest of them, but that seemed odd that was on there.
Anything else?
Somewhere I got the tape hidden. I don't know where it's at, but I kept it in there. I put it away so I could bring it for future reference, and I just can't remember where it's at.
I do that all the time.
The district attorney asked you if Robert had ever complained about it being warm. You remember that question?
Yes.
Did Robert ever complain to you about noise?
Oh, yeah, a lot of times.
And this would be just regular noises such as a baby crying, perhaps?
Baby crying. Both my daughters had children, and they lived in a home for a while. And he complained about the baby crying a lot, too noisy. He's also complained about the wife and I have arguments, and if we got the shower, he'd come out and tell us to shut up. The neighbors.
And these noises, let's say the baby crying, was the baby crying exceptionally loudly or at a normal?
No, just like a baby cry. It's nothing normal. Just seemed to bother him more because we raised 7 kids that were used to it, I guess, in a way.
And did he ever, as far as you were aware, did he ever try to escape from the noise by putting on his headphones and listening to his music?
Oh, yeah, definitely. A lot of times, besides doing it in his room, we'd go out shopping or something and come back, and he'd be the only one in the house. He'd be in the house. He'd lay on a rug or on a couch, and he'd have headphones on and have the stereo in the house would be completely dark. And we'd come back and then what's going on or something. And sometimes he'd have pillows wrapped around him, so that's all he heard was just the music.
And you say many times when he was in the home alone, the house would be completely dark?
Oh, yes.
Before noise-canceling headphones.
Even these times I went into his room would be dark, going there.
Now, there was an incident that you told us about where he became angry and annoyed with your wife, correct, about the cable situation?
Yes.
And Robert wanted to have the cable hooked up, and your wife didn't want him to, correct?
No, that's correct.
Do you-
The damage it did, they had to drill a hole through the wall and come in.
And was that, on that occasion, Robert wanted to watch a particular TV program, correct? Do you
Yeah,
recall?
I think he wanted to get it in there so he could tape these shows, because sometimes it was inconvenient. This friction he had with Jeff, sometimes during the day, he couldn't get the tape on my sister Sam's show.
Okay, so on this incident that you're talking about, the one time where he took a swing at your wife, it was because he wanted to have the cable hooked up so he could record my sister Sam?
You can do it without anybody bothering him. He could watch what he wanted to watch.
And when your wife didn't allow him to utilize the cable so he could record my sister Sam, he became violent.
Right, the cable system, and she wouldn't let him put it in, made him take it out, and that's when he saw him. He really got irate about it and swung at her.
Mr. Bardo, were these My Sister Sam reruns, do you know, or were they just the ordinary showing of the TV program?
I think they were reruns. They were in the afternoon, like 4:30 in the afternoon. I believe they were reruns.
Do you know whether they were available by ordinary TV or whether you had to have cable to get them?
In the area we live in, we've had cable, so I just...
Is it all cable?
Mostly cable. It's already into the house, and we just have them turn it on.
You said that he wanted to be able to watch anything he wanted.
All right.
Is that correct? Did he make that
correct.
statement, or?
Yeah, he made it, because like when they did the show on John Lennon, I forget the name of the show, but on his career and when he died and all that, he filmed that, all that too.
All right. I have nothing further. Anything further?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Sir, of the 7 children that you had, was Robert the youngest?
Yes.
So his first exposure to the noise of infants crying was when your daughters brought their babies home to stay with you?
Let's see, his brother's only a couple years old, and so I'm sure he's heard some of it before.
The next brother or the next person or sibling that he has
Is
older than
James.
him is Jeff?
It's James.
James, okay. And James is how much older than Robert?
James is born in, I think it's 2 years. I don't remember what the exact birthday.
There's 7 children.
To my list. I even have to check when I check my cards for birthdays, I have to look at my list.
Okay. You think it's around 2 years?
I think it's 2 years.
Okay. So when your son was born, the next youngest child was 2 years old. When your son Robert was born.
2 or close to 2.
Okay. And when did your daughter start bringing their babies home?
Well, the third daughter had her baby at the base hospital, and she was married there. And right from birth, the baby's been home.
And do you recall what year that was?
The baby's, he's 8 now, so it'll be about 8 years ago. Roughly.
83?
Yeah,
No. Yeah, 83?
yeah, something about it.
And did Robert complain about that from the very beginning? From the very start, when they started bringing the babies home, did that bother him right
Not
away?
exactly from the beginning, but later on, he'd come out in the living room from his room and complain, said, "Can't you do something about that?"
So after a while, it got to him? Did it seem that it got to him more when there were 2 babies at home?
They weren't both at home at the same time. The other daughter had gotten married and moved off, and then the other daughter was in the Army at the time, and she had her baby, and rather than go to Germany and leave the baby alone, she decided to get out of the Army, and then when she came home, Janet had already been gone.
Well, because of the stupid thing freezing up, we're not going to be able to finish this. We're almost done. We're almost done with this video, but I gotta be done by 1. Oh, I'm not gonna be done by 1 because we're starting late. Because my scooter's getting delivered today. Okay, Now we're going to go to Brian Walsh. I'll see you guys over there in a minute. And it's going to redirect, but not for Marty, as usual.